You are in your kitchen boiling an egg, and you suddenly realize you have no idea how long it has been on the stove. Panic sets in. Do you guess? Do you risk a runny disaster? Now, imagine a world without egg timers, because that world existed. Today, we are diving into the quirky, unexpected, and downright fascinating history of egg timers. From sand-filled glass to ticking gadgets, this little tool has a story that will surprise you. Stick around because you will not believe how much drama fits into 3 minutes of timing. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. And today we are cracking open a topic that is small but mighty: the history of egg timers. You might think an egg timer is just a boring kitchen gadget, something you grab when you need a perfectly soft-boiled egg. However, this tiny device has a past filled with ingenuity, culture, and even a little bit of humor. We are going to explore where it came from, how it evolved, why it matters, and some wild facts that will make you see your egg timer in a whole new light. So grab a cup of tea or an egg if you are feeling thematic hand. Let us get started. Let us begin at the beginning, the origin story of the egg timer. Believe it or not, the idea of timing things precisely goes back thousands of years. The earliest version of what we now call an egg timer was not even meant for exit, was the hourglass. Around the 8th century in medieval Europe, monks and scholars used sand-filled glass devices to measure time for prayers, work, or study. These were not small, cute kitchen timers. They were big, clunky, and often took an hour to run out. Now, fast forward to the 17th century. People started shrinking these hourglasses down to measure shorter periods. Think 10 minutes, 5 minutes, or even 3 minutes, perfect for cooking. Eggs were a staple food across Europe, and getting that boil just right was a big deal. Nobody knows exactly who said, "Hey, let us make a timer specifically for eggs." But by the 1600s, small sand timers were popping up in kitchens. They were simple: 2 glass bulbs connected by a narrow neck, sand trickling through to mark the time. No bells, no whistles, just pure sandy precision. The name egg timer stuck because boiling eggs became the go-to task for these little gadgets. 3 minutes for a soft boil, 6 for a hard boil suddenly. Timing was not just for monks anymore. It was for anyone who wanted a decent breakfast. This humble beginning set the stage for a tool that would stick around for centuries. So, the sand-filled egg timer was a hit, but humans love to tinker. Let us talk about how this gadget evolved over time. By the 19th century, the Industrial Revolution was in full swing, and people wanted faster, fancier ways to time their eggs. Enter the mechanical egg timer. These were not just sand anymore. They had springs, gears, and sometimes even a little bell to ding when time was up. Imagine winding up a tiny clock, setting it for 3 minutes, and hearing that satisfying ding while your egg cooks. One of the earliest patented mechanical egg timers came from a British inventor in the 1870s. It looked like a mini alarm clock, and it was a game changer. No more watching sand. You could set it and forget it. These timers were not cheap though. They were a bit of a status symbol, like the Victorian equivalent of a high-tech kitchen gadget. Meanwhile, the sand timers stuck around because they were affordable and reliable. Then, in the 20th century, things got wild. Electricity came into play, and suddenly, egg timers could buzz, beep, or even light up. The 1950s and 60s brought us those iconic twist timers, you know. The ones you turn to 60 minutes and they tick back down. They were not just for eggs anymore. People used them for baking, roasting, even timing phone calls. And let us not forget the digital age. Today, your phone can be an egg timer, complete with customizable alarms and egg-specific apps. From sand to smartphones, the egg timer has come a long way. Now, you might be wondering, why does an egg timer matter beyond the kitchen? Let us explore its cultural significance. The egg timer is more than a tool. It is a symbol of precision in a chaotic world. Think about it. in the 19th and early 20th centuries. As life sped up with factories and trains, people craved control over small things. Timing an egg perfectly was a tiny victory, a way to say, "I have got this." In some cultures, egg timers took on bigger roles. In Britain, for example, the 3-minute egg timer became a staple of tea time. You boil your egg, steep your tea, and everything is ready together. Pure harmony. Across the pond in America, egg timers popped up in early cooking shows, teaching housewives how to master the kitchen. They were not just practical, they were part of a lifestyle. And here is a quirky twist. Egg timers became metaphors. Writers and speakers used them to talk about fleeting time like sand slipping away. They even showed up in games and challenges. Ever heard of the Egg Timer Challenge, where you have 3 minutes to finish a task? It is a nod to this little device's knack for creating urgency. Culturally, the egg timer is a quiet hero, shaping how we think about time itself. Okay, let us lighten things up with some fun facts and surprising details about egg timers. Did you know the shortest egg timer ever made runs for just 30 seconds? It was designed for super fast tasks, like poaching an egg yolk. On the flip side, some antique hourglasses were so big they timed entire days, definitely not for eggs. Here is a wild one. During World War II, egg timers were used in espionage. Spies would carry small sand timers to time secret meetings or signal drops because they were silent and did not need batteries. Who knew your kitchen gadget had a spy career? And speaking of unexpected uses, some musicians have used egg timers as percussion instruments, tapping them for a subtle tick-tock beat.